Hello, and welcome to How to Write a Great Resume, a webinar by Southwestern College Professional Studies. I'm Jen Cogran, Director of Enrollment Services and Marketing. Whether you are a recent graduate or an experienced candidate, your resume is an important aspect of the hiring process. It's often the first impression a hiring manager has of you, and with so many candidates vying for the same positions, it may only get a few seconds of attention, so it's important that it stands out. Today, we're going to review the basics of writing a great resume. We'll cover each resume section one at a time and discuss elements to include and also what to avoid. Let's get started. The first thing to keep in mind when building your resume is to keep the formatting simple. Avoid fancy designs, graphics, fonts, or page borders, even charts and graphs. While you may think that these are visually appealing, they can distract from the experience you really want the hiring manager to focus on. Keeping a simple format makes it easier to import your resume into online application programs as well. Let's get into the first section, personal information. This section may seem fairly straightforward, but candidates can often include too much information here. First, position your personal information at the top of the resume. You'll want to include your name as well as your contact information, specifically a phone number and email address that you access regularly. Some bonus tips: make sure that your personal voicemail greeting is appropriate and your email address is professional. If it's time to update your email address, or even just to obtain a new one for the purposes of your job search, there are many free email services available. Your LinkedIn profile can also be a great addition to your resume. Of course, you only want to include a profile if it's up to date, contains a professional image, and complements your resume by adding industry connections or recommendations. Otherwise, it's best to leave it out. The next section is your career profile. This section should be a brief summary of your skills and experience as it relates to the position you are applying for. You may also want to include a few core competencies in this section, but focus on things that help you stand out from other candidates, and don't overdo it. Professional experience is next. In this section, you really want to focus on the details of your work history. Beginning in chronological order, list each position you've held, years employed, and the company name. The description is where you can really set yourself apart from other candidates. Expand on your day-to-day responsibilities to quantify outcomes and accomplishments achieved in the position. Explaining that you assisted 100 new customers per day and provided follow-up for 25 previous requests sounds much more impressive than a simple statement that you provided excellent customer service. It's also a good idea to review the description of the job you're applying for and identify a few keywords that you can include in your professional experience descriptions to ensure the hiring manager can relate your previous experience to the current position. Next up is education. Starting with your most recent education, include your area of study and the outcome. Did you earn a degree or certificate? Did you graduate? Also include the institution from which you received the education, the year earned, and any distinctions. Finally, include a technical skills section if the position requires them, or if your technical skills are applicable to the position you're applying for. These skills might include experience with hardware or software programs that are relevant to the position that can really demonstrate your versatility. I'd like to leave you with a few additional tips. The effort you put into your resume really goes a long way. Personalize your resume to each position you are applying for to demonstrate your compatibility to the position. Include a cover letter whenever possible. Not all hiring managers utilize them, but the ones that value them also value the effort you put into writing them. It isn't necessary to include references within the resume. Instead, keep these on hand in case they are requested. Of course, you'll want references that are also tailored to the position you are applying for. I cannot stress enough the importance of proofreading multiple times to make sure your resume is the best reflection of you that it can be. Even simple mistakes can communicate a lack of effort or a lack of attention to detail and cause a hiring manager to pass over your resume. Before you finish your final draft, ask a colleague or a family member to look it over one more time. Thanks for listening today. For more career and education webinars, visit our YouTube channel.